So the digital world is very confusing. Half the time, I don't even understand what my children is trying to say to me. So today, I'm on the most Sigma podcast in Singapore with Minister Josephine Teo. Yay. MOS Rahayu. And Mr. Alsen. Today, I'm doing my best to raise them up. So that I can farm enough aura points. So by the end of this podcast, hopefully they can call me their besties. Sorry, I use a lot of this brain rot or Gen Z slang. Minister, do you understand what I'm trying to say just now?
Some lah. My generation is comfortable with steady pon pipi, and that's about
Steady
it.
Same. We almost from the same generation. So.
Yeah, but to hear someone string it all together, I think it's the first time.
It's the first time.
Well done.
All these Gen Z slangs are very challenging to learn, but at the same time, we need to pick it up because to communicate with our children.
Yeah.
I really applaud all the parents who are trying their best to keep up with their children, to support them in the digital age. Before we met, I asked each of you all to bring one item that shows what makes you most worried. Can I showcase my own item first?
Of course.
Okay,
This one is from my generation, you know.
Yeah,
How is it?
precisely. I'm trying to introduce them more of the kampong games in future. So the one thing I'm most worried about in this age for my own kids, because they do not go outdoors enough. A lot of times I chill them go hiking, go running. They say, Daddy, I want to stay at home. I want to chillax at home. So I worry about their health, not enough exercise. So I hope to use this item to attract them out. Go out and play chapter with Daddy lah. So this is my item, the chapter.
What's your record? Continuous?
I believe I kicked more than 30 times before.
Not bad,
Yes,
not bad.
but for them, this is something new, so the most they like 2 or 3 times.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yes.
In my generation, of course, 30-something is very baseline.
Baseline. Oh.
This is one of those things that the older generation does better than the younger generation.
Later got time I go and challenge my minister, no problem. I'd like to ask Minister for your item first.
Oh, mine, when my children were growing up, one of my daughters gamed regularly. Even today, she games with her friends and with a global community. At the time, I was really concerned about the kind of content, whether they were suitable for a young person. Is it too much violence? Images that they really should not be so exposed to. That was one. The other thing is when you're online, you interact with a whole range of people. So apart from the content, whether these interactions will lead to some activities or occurrences that you really are very concerned as a parent. Then the third thing, of course, is cyberbullying. Later in life, I realized that all the things I was worried about are exactly the same things that parents today are worried about. Because MDDI, my ministry, we did a study on parents and how they are dealing with the digital age. These 3 things were also what they raised as their top concerns.
Okay, MOS.
So this is mine. It's a mask. So it's symbolic of online anonymity. I think that's something that is also of concern, also to parents. My son is still very young, but I also have young nieces and nephews, and they are going to be in a world where there'll be people who will mask themselves out and may not be the true persons. A lot of the things that are fed to our children online can be from people we don't know with different agendas, and this will affect our community. So for me, it's online anonymity.
I couldn't agree with you more, because as a content creator, I get a lot of this type of hurtful comments on a regular basis. Mr. Alsen, what do you bring?
Right. So my greatest fear is my kids not doing the dishes. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
It's representative of a sponge, right? Like our kids, when they go into the online world, they just absorb everything that they see without a filter. And so that's my greatest worry as a parent, that they don't have a filter to know what is the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do, what should they be watching, what they shouldn't be watching.
Thanks for all sharing all these legitimate concerns. I love to come back to Alsen again. Okay, Alsen, from your personal experience of fatherhood, okay, were you confident of guiding your children in the digital age, and how do you prepare for it?
No, I was not. Never.
You were not?
When you come into parenting, you're always wondering, am I doing the right thing? When I first introduced devices to my kids, I made it a point to sit with them and watch to make sure that I could see what they were doing. Then came a point when my father-in-law decided to buy a tablet for my daughter when she was 7, and I wasn't prepared to start the device at that age. But I cannot say no as well, because he was just trying to prepare them for the digital future.
Yeah, and they do it out of love.
Out of love, exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I just said, okay, let's put some boundaries to it. I had to tell my daughter, you had only 1 hour a day. When you use YouTube, you need me to sit beside you. I don't want you to access it without me. And so it was a learning process. And I think parents out there need to know that it's okay. We're going to make mistakes along the way too. But the important thing is to have that conversations with our kids, to walk with them through that discovery process.
It was quite funny that Alsen said that he was not confident. Actually, even up to the last few weeks before I gave birth to my first kid, I was also totally lacking in confidence, you know. And a few years later, when my sister-in-law was about to give birth to my nephew, I remember the weekend she came to my house and she said, "Joe, I'm so scared. I have no idea how to be a mother." And as it turns out, in the end, we all learn.
Okay.
But in the moment, you really can feel quite lost, particularly in this day and age. The world that our children experience is very different from ours. At the time, I already felt, wow, you didn't need to pass any tests. Nobody certified you and you can be parent. Now, in this whole new world, you know, with so much digital interactions, you know, where do you get, you know, your understanding of how to be a good parent? So most of us, really, the way we parent is that we think about how we were parented. So parenting in the digital age, my heart goes out to the younger parents today. It's really not easy. Nobody has done the rehearsal. Nobody knows what it's like.
There's no blueprint.
No blueprint.
Yes.
So all you can do is really interact with each other, get peer support. Among those who say that they are not so confident about, you know, raising children in the digital age, the most common one is that they have limited time and they have a lot of work commitments. Second is that even if you ask the child to do certain things, the child may not want to follow the rules.
That's right. Yes.
And they may not even want to share with you what they're doing online. So there is a certain wall, you know, between what you can see and how you were hoping to be able to help. The third reason is that the children are digital natives and they have a circle of friends that will tell them, oh, this is how you can bypass parental control or restrictions. And so this makes it very challenging, and I think these are the three main factors that contribute to parents feeling that I'm not so confident.
As a former educator, when I have conversations with my primary school kids last time, they always say, why don't you tell your parents about your cyberbullying or the issues they're having online? Usually they will say, oh, if I tell my parents, they'll take away my phone. And I think that doesn't help the child with his socialization and all that. So yeah, I can see why, you know, they wouldn't want to tell their parents. To them, it's like, oh, you know, I'll get into trouble or they'll take away my device.
To MOS, do you have any tips for to build the parents' confidence in the digital age?
You know, I totally resonate with the things that Alsen and Minister raised, because our children don't come with the instruction manual.
Exactly.
Really think about how to figure it out. I think it is so important for us to really forgive ourselves sometimes. It's a hit or miss, but confidence can be built. I remembered that experience, you know, when my child was first born versus like a few months later. Like first when I put him in the car, wow, strap. And after that, like, wow, so relaxed. And that's what we do to try and make sure that the resources are available. So parents can build the confidence in navigating this space, having the capability. Because confidence comes with knowing and having the skills. And so with the support of showing the wayfinding to get these skills, hopefully they will then build confidence. So the other bit I wanted to just kind of build on the story you shared about your father-in-law buying the gift, right, for your daughter. And it is true, because technology is not all bad. We now are in this new digital era. Our kids are digital natives, and these are things they need to navigate when they go into the world. And so we do need to figure out how we can find some balance of managing and using tech for good.
A lot of times, my parenting, when I don't know how to communicate with them, sometimes my wife will ask me to use ChatGPT.
Wow, now you have a new friend.
yes, it's very useful. So embracing whatever we have, the resources available. So we also need to learn together with them and constantly update ourselves as well. Sometimes I'll feel inferior to my own kids as well. Because I feel they are so smart nowadays. They know everything.
They know and they don't know.
Yes.
That's the part that we are worried about.
Can I also say maybe one way of looking at it is also it's okay not to know. and to explore together with the child and to tell them, I don't know everything. My daughter came back the other day talking to me about K-pop Demon Hunters and how her friends
Oh my god, that's so trending.
her friends were talking about it. I had never watched it yet, but I've heard of it. So I told her, okay, let me go and find out a little bit more before I talk to you about it. So I went to watch it just to see what it was like. Oh, very catchy songs and all that. And so we just talked about how people like Korean music and how, you know, and it's okay to have that conversation. And she was open enough to ask me about it and share, and we explore together as well.
Okay, guys, I've got another activity which I hope will show you guys how difficult it is for us to put away our phone. So you got a whiteboard in front of you, everyone. So I will give you all 3 seconds to write down how much time do you think you spend on your phones each day.
Try lah.
Oh, man. Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Minister, 3 hours, MOS, 15 hours. And Alsen 9 hours, myself is 10. So right now, I want you all to verify against your phone to see whether your estimation is correct or not. First, we start with Alsen now. So Alsen, what's your screen time?
10 hours.
10 hours.
You're very close.
Quite close to your estimation. So how about MOS?
Mine is 3.
3 hours?
Wow,
3
well
hours.
done.
So I'm very
Why
proud of
do you
myself.
put 15 hours?
I was very afraid because it feels like I'm
Because
on the
you're very
phone all the
conscious.
time.
Maybe you're putting it off without
Yes.
you realizing.
Realizing, yeah.
Sometimes you only use like small pockets of time.
Yeah, so it's like quick. Yeah.
How about Minister?
I totally underestimate, huh?
Totally underestimate.
Actually, I use closer to 5 in these
Okay.
last few days.
Okay.
The only one who makes me feel better is Alsen.
Yes,
Still half
yeah.
Okay, I think I'm guilty of the worst. Mine is 16 hours.
No kidding.
Oh yes, because I'm a content creator, so I spend a lot of time editing on the phone itself.
Yeah.
So yes, so also a underestimation as well.
Still an underestimate.
Yes, correct. So
You underestimated by how much?
by 6 hours actually.
Oh,
By 6 hours.
so he was quite spot on.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
quite close.
Quite.
Mine
So
was
you're the
very
most
far.
accurate. So yeah, MOS is
Oh,
No, you actually.
this is a recent phenomenon because I just started wearing reading glasses. And it's so uncomfortable to look at the phone now that I don't use it as much now. I've been
I
using
see.
other devices like my laptops.
It
I
may
suspect
so.
it may
next time we
be.
ask you to bring more.
Yeah.
All your devices. Minister, how about you?
It is a very useful, convenient device, and it allows us to get our work done too.
Yeah.
I would say that my screen time is still very work oriented. So it is quite inevitable that this device is very
Even
much
for
a part of
payment
our
as
life.
well.
Yeah. In fact, our survey, we asked children how much time they spend on their devices. And what we were particularly interested in knowing is that for children under the age of 12, is their screen use more than what the Ministry of Health recommended? In case, I'm not sure whether you know, what's the MOH's recommendation?
0 to 18
Months?
0. Yeah, 0 to
So
18 months.
No,
0.
no screen time.
Yeah, then 18 to 6.
18 months to 6
years
years old.
1 hour
A day.
a day, and it doesn't include what you have in school, but also cannot be during meal times and also not before sleep.
Then,
And then there's
7 to
another one,
12.
7 to 12. Yeah, which is 2 hours.
so we wanted to find out from our survey, is that guideline more or less being met?
Followed.
First, we found that almost every kid says that they use the device, and on weekends it's definitely. And I think this gels with our observation too. Actually, majority of them bust this guideline. Yeah, especially on weekends.
Pass the guideline. I thought PASS
Pass.
pass.
Okay, they bust
Bust the guideline.
The
Okay.
guideline. So in that sense, I think we do have a goal. Can we help parents to guide their children to develop more healthy digital habits? Very importantly, if we want the children to get off their devices, what do we get them to do? Chapter is a very good example of how we are hoping to return to a more play-based childhood instead of a phone-based childhood. I think it is something that is worth our collective efforts. Families would like help in achieving this goal. It is also good for the children, to be exposed to a wider range of activities.
Mister, you share with me about trying to get them to go outdoors more often, right? So recently I have tried a game with my kids on a trail exploring game. I don't know whether you heard of it. Yeah, there's a game by I think M Parks. Yeah, so where we have to fulfill a certain amount of tasks and explore. The game encourages us to explore the city, and as a reward, once we reach the checkpoint, we are able to get vouchers.
So you spend the vouchers or the kids spend the vouchers? Very important.
We split equally lah.
It's actually quite similar to what I used to do with my kids because I love museums. And when the kids were very little, of course, the museums is of very little interest to them. So I used to devise little games and competition. I will say, okay, here are the 10 artworks, 10 artists that you can go and look for.
Gamify things.
Correct. Then, wow, if you find one artist's work, okay, you write it down, and then I'll give you 10 points. And then whoever reaches 100 points first, okay, you get an ice cream treat or something like that.
Wonderful idea. So, rewards as motivation. Next up, I would like to ask MOS. I understand that the MOH has published the guidelines on screen use in children just this January. Right? So why is there a need to set these guidelines?
Actually, this is done in consultation with health and education experts to give us a framework of what is good for our children. You know that there is the Grow Well SG effort where we really want to give some attention to the different aspects of raising our children. And so we want them to eat well, learn well, sleep well, exercise well, because we know that screen time, and this is based on data and research, right, can affect our children, especially for the younger ones. It will actually affect their brain development. And then not to mention eyesight, and health, because you also know now there's screen addiction. So these are medical data that we have, and we must let parents know that this are things that they should notice and try their best to also look into. So I know that it's challenging. We're all learning. So how can we navigate this together?
I run so many workshops with lots of dads and moms. A lot of times they say the reason they give the device is because at the end of the hard day, they're so tired, they just want to relax. Yeah, they just need a break. And so that's why they give the device. But when we present the findings, how it affects them cognitively, in their development, then they realize, hey, actually, it's very important that I don't give that device. And so that helps. That's why I think the guidelines are useful. And it also reminds us as parents to be very mindful of our own screen time and what we're role modeling for our kids. So if the first thing we come back and do is whip up our phones and look at our phones, then, I mean, I'm guilty of that some days too. So then they will also think that that's normal behavior and they will do it. So I think as we talk with parents, we realize, hey, we need to role model good digital usage, and then our kids will follow as well. So.
But I'm very sympathetic to this generation's young families, because the parents are very stretched at work. And it is true, I'm already very tired. I just want to have a little bit of, downtime. But I also remember when my children were very young, someone gave me a little fridge magnet. And I think this person was trying to do me a favor. It was really trying to remind me to be more present for my kids. And what it said on the fridge magnet was, how do children spell love? And it's T-I-M-E. It's time.
Earlier, I asked you all, I remember the board, the huge board just now we saw. Earlier, I asked you all to indicate the tool or tactic that you all use to guide your child's digital device usage, or may consider doing in the future. So now we ask the crew to bring in the board and review our answers. Okay, so you'll see all our very, very
Alsen is here.
Alsen went everywhere.
Champion.
I was telling you all earlier, I have to walk the talk. If I tell parents that they need to do these things, then I must apply it. I think it's very important that we set device usage. So for my daughter, who's 11, she has a phone which we gave so that, because she takes public transport to school and back, so we wanted to make sure we had a way to contact her and she's safe. So I have to set a 1 hour usage outside of school hours. So during school hours, I actually block her phone so that she can't use it during school hours. So
You use the parental control?
Yes, so I use Google Family Link. And that helps me to set parameters. But I think on top of that, it's important that I explain to my daughter why I set the device usage. Because if I just set it without telling her why I'm doing it, then she will try and find ways around it, which most teenagers do as well. They'll find a way to circumvent. So that's why I do that.
If you look at the whole range of actions, according to our survey, almost 9 in 10 parents have implemented at least one measure to try and help their children, regulate their device use. Very encouraging. So parents are doing something.
So maybe MOS, you want to share what have you done so far?
Well, I am a little bit of the discipline master at home. I'm not around a lot, but when I do pop in at home during for dinner time, I have my niece and nephew and my son, and if they are watching or using their devices, they now all know that, oh, Auntie Ayu is back. And so they're like, so it's
That's not bad.
yeah, it's not a bad thing. I don't mind playing that role. So it is really about making sure that they have they are cognizant of the fact that they cannot be on it all the time.
Yes.
And I get very frustrated when I talk to them and they're like, on the devices, and I worry about their eyesight. Because like I say, I don't believe that technology is all that bad. Like, sometimes some of these shows or things that they're looking at has learning values, right? And so
Has educational
value. So sitting with them to like draw out some of those lessons, some of those things, I thought is useful. So that's something that we can all try to also do together, for children.
And I think it needs to be age appropriate as well. I think you mentioned about critically discerning what they're watching, right? So, but at a young age, our 2-3-year-olds may not know how to do that. But as they grow older, they will. So I think being age appropriate with these settings is important. So my 11-year-old, like as she grow older, I'll remove some of the barriers that I put around for her so that she knows what she's doing.
So, Minister, there are expectations from parents on the ground. Maybe they want some stricter laws or new laws to go and try to protect the children. Or this. So, what do you have to share about this?
Well, you're right, and actually that comes across quite clearly in the survey that we did with parents too. But we have not been averse to introducing new laws and regulations if they can be helpful and effective. So, for example, Rahayu, you would remember, you were in Parliament. In 2022, we introduced the Online Safety Bill, and a year later, in 2023, we asked the social media services to comply with the Code of Practice for Online Safety. Then in 2024, we also put in place the Online Criminal Harms Act. And this March, we introduced a new Code of Practice. Basically, we're telling app stores that when people download apps, you should really get a sense of whether they meet the age requirement for the app to be made available to them. So this age assurance has helped us in a way to try and prevent upstream apps that are not age appropriate to be downloaded by younger individuals. This year, actually, very soon, when Parliament reopens, we are going to table a new law. This is known as the Online Safety, Relief and Accountability Bill. What does it do? Even if your online, environment is, generally cleaner than elsewhere, use cleaner in a metaphorical way, you cannot avoid litterbugs. So litterbugs are people who make that online environment, uncomfortable, and they sometimes are harmful for other users. So it could include, for example, harassment. So what do you do to hold these kinds of litterbugs accountable? So this new law will enable us to also set up an online safety commission, both to better support the victims of online harms, but also to hold the so-called litterbugs accountable for, what they've done to pollute the online domain. So laws are one of the things that we are not averse to doing, but I think it's fair to say we all know, even the parents know, it's not a silver bullet. It doesn't solve all problems. And parents also tell us that they want to take ownership, they want to get involved. And they have, for example, suggested that making resources more bite-sized, modularized, easy for them to understand and practice on a day-to-day basis will be helpful. And I think they've also indicated to us that they would like support amongst their peers. I don't know whether that's a sense that you're getting to.
Yes, indeed. As a parent of a young child, I can fully appreciate and the issues that the parents raise resonate with me. They're very busy, time-strapped, too much information. So it is really about how do we make it easier and accessible for them. Actually, the resources have been built up over time.
Yes.
You're quite familiar. Our Digital for Life portal has a lot of information
Tons
and
of
resources.
resources.
And every ministry, in their own spaces are trying to support parents. So we do need to figure out how to make sure that these resources are available. We try to sort of categorize it according to the age groups because that's how parents, you've got to kind of look at, shape things to what they would need. The other way is also to try and go to where the parents are, where are the captive audience. So it is really finding opportunities where we can reach parents in the community, in the spaces where they are at, to help support them and provide this information. And it must be actionable because,
Correct.
like, you know,
Don't tell me big theory.
yeah, because you say, okay, my son cannot use this, but like if he's throwing a tantrum in that hour that I need to feed him, what can I do? So it's having this really practical skills that I can actually do something about, be actionable about it.
I mean, we try at the Center for Fathering to offer different workshops and programs to get parents just encouraged that it's not a hopeless journey. It's full of hope. It's somewhere we are learning together. And one of the best ways is through community. And so we try to form, community groups in schools, in even, community areas where father groups or mother groups are formed. And then we hope that through that journey where they meet up regularly, they share the struggles they're going through, leading their kids through the digital world. And so when they share, then they're able to also help each other out in that way. But on our end, we try to run workshops. So we have like parenting in the digital age. And like you said earlier, parents are so busy. So we've introduced a new thing called Snack and Share. So it's the lunchtime talks that we offer, and it's just 1 hour of your lunchtime. So it's bite-sized, it's easy to consume, it's easy to apply, and we always try.
You do it at workplaces, or
so it's Zoom. So anyone can, or they can even turn up on site. So we also have some on site.
so they need to incur some screen time, lah.
Yeah.
And join the digital
Use the technology
But yeah,
for
we're
good.
using technology in the right way.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for all your sharing. Today is definitely a very Sigma podcast with all of you. Hope I have found enough aura for you to call
Are you
me.
sure we were raised enough?
So before we all say goodbye, a last piece of advice or encouragement for the parents out there. Yeah, maybe we start with Alsen first.
Sure. I think I want to just encourage parents that they're not alone in this journey. Like, surround yourself with other parents who are also exploring the digital world. Grow that community where you can always say, hey, my son is having this problem. What did you do with your child? Can I learn from you? And you also need to depend on the community at large, your schools, the different organizations in the area. So yeah, I think as parents, don't struggle by yourself.
Okay, how about MOS?
I want to acknowledge that digital parenting is not easy. There are real challenges. And so we want to really commend the parents for all the efforts that they've put in so far. I know there is that sense of despair sometimes and helplessness. I want to also assure parents, like Alsen says, there are resources. You're not alone in this journey. And I think as a government, that's part of the work that we also want to do to continue building the resources and support for parents as we navigate this digital age.
Thank you for sharing, Minister.
I really do think that it takes a village.
Yes.
It's just that this village looks different. This village has got digital components today. Parenting has never been easy in every generation, and I think in this current generation, because of difficulty in understanding the environment that their children is fully immersed in, it is even more important that we support each other and the community can come together. So, for example, organizations like Center for Fathering, but equally, the government will make available more support measures.
I will keep it short and sweet, okay? There are no perfect parents, just Sigma parents. Let's all farm aura together with our kids. Yeah! Thank you all, besties. Thank you all for all this session.